How's it going there, guys? My name is Sam. If you are watching this video, you are too far in the internet, turn back now. If you're wondering who I am, I'm just a dude. I like to think, I play video games, I do a lot of stuff in my free time. I have numerous amounts of interests. And one of those interests is in deeper psychology and understanding of the human mind and the body. And over the past couple of years, I've gone through my own personal traumas, and I'm trying to look for ways to move forward and improve upon myself and use that knowledge to improve on other people. So, my point of being here is I want to use this as a medium to impart the knowledge that I've gained and hopefully get someone else thinking about things the way I think it, and to just get out my thoughts. That's all I really want out of this. I'm not looking for recognition. I'm not looking for any type of fame. I just want to sit down and say what I think. That's really all this is going to be. It'll just, personally, I think it'll really help with myself. I think it will help me to get my thoughts across to other people. And since I am looking to run a YouTube career on the side, it will help me get used to acting and working in front of a camera, per se. So that's why I'm here. So if you ended up here, welcome. I don't know how you got here. I don't know how you ended up on some random dude's little video talking about himself, but hi. So some of the things I've come to realize and learn over the past couple of years is the pursuit of this thing called joy. And what I mean by that is it's the pursuit of happiness. It's everything that everyone on the planet is basically doing. We're working towards happiness. We're working towards finding ourselves in this place that's one with the universe, that's one with ourselves, of deeper understanding, and where we can live our lives in joy and peace and happy harmony for everyone. Which sounds beautiful, but it's not what everyone thinks it is. So, joy and happiness is one side of the coin. What we've come to learn in this society and what we've come to be taught, and by the way, I'm sorry if there's any weird background noise, I'll solve that in time. I've got my computer right here making noise. My phone just vibrated. Sorry. But what this society's been doing to us is it's been pushing us in the wrong direction. It's through, how do I word this? And I'm sorry, my long thinking processes is part of the reason I want to do this and part of the things I'm trying to fix. So please forgive me if it takes me a while to get my thought really out there and, to an understandable point. Really, I should just put googly eyes on this microphone and I can just look at that. Oh, but I don't like eye contact. So the point I'm trying to make is we've learned ever since we were young that good feelings are good and bad feelings are bad. That if you're sad, don't feel sad. If you're mad, don't be angry. Things like that. We're always yelling at our children, don't hit, don't, stop crying, all that BS. I'll try and watch my language too, but I'm not very good at it, so I'll apologize for that ahead of time. But we've always thought this, and bad emotions feel bad. Like, we don't want to feel sad. We don't want to be upset. We don't want to feel any type of heartbreak. We don't want to be depressed. We don't want any of that, so we avoid it. The problem with that is, by avoiding these emotions, we're strengthening them. Because the human body is filled with emotion, both positive and negative, if that's the way you want to look at it. When in reality, there is no such thing as negative emotion. Emotion is emotion. Emotion is how the body expresses. The emotion is how the body releases. So, by not crying when you're sad, if you think about it, when you go to cry, you're causing a muscular tension somewhere within your body that's holding back that force of tears. So by not crying, you're literally hurting yourself. You are literally causing your body to not cry. Now, obviously, you'll be in situations where crying is not proper. I've been in one myself over the past few months, a handful, honestly. And by resisting this urge to cry, it's harmful. And, you know, now I'm looping back on my thoughts. Even if you're in a situation where crying is not ideal, like, I can't think of an example, but it's just, this would be the wrong time to just stop, break down in tears, and whatever. Whether it's because there's something you need to do, whether you're surrounded by people, whether you're around people that if you were to break down and cry in that moment, it would discourage them and make the situation worse. You know, all these kinds of things can happen. So it really comes to knowing your body and becoming one with yourself and knowing how to release this emotion in a proper and, well, adult manner. Because, you know, we're always, especially for men, we're getting mocked. Men shouldn't cry, men are tough, and all that BS. It happens all the time. So, and again, that's wrong. We should be expressing our emotion. It will harm us in the long run. Like myself, for example, just in a recent event, I got angry. I knew I had to let the emotion out, so I punched a tree as hard as I freaking could. I broke my hand, but at least I didn't have it eating away at me. I'm not saying go to that extreme. I'm not saying what I did was right, but I at least understood that my body needed to let this out, and that was the first option that came to mind. And it was the nearest thing to hit that wasn't my grandmother, and I can't hit her. So what I'm trying to say is we're all in this pursuit of joy. We're all in this pursuit of happiness. And in order to do that, we have to accept the negative emotions. We can't just, you know, I don't want to feel sad, so I'm going to push it down and ignore it and move on with my day. We shouldn't be doing that. I know how hard it is. Believe me, I know firsthand, because I'm a human being, how difficult it is to accept these negative emotions and express them. I haven't cried in like years. And it's not just, I'll get to it at a later point, but it's not just tears. It's really releasing the tension in the body, because that's what it all ends up doing. Every time you restrict an emotion, it causes some kind of muscular tension. Personally, I have this really strong band of tension here along my neck. And and it's something I can feel physically. Like if I took a foam roller or something to my neck, I can feel that this side isn't very tense, but this side really is. Nothing else, not many other places on my body are very tense. I know what they are, and I'll get into those at another point. But what that's causing me to do is it's ruining my sleep, so I can't sleep well pretty much ever. Even if I've slept like 18 hours straight and woke up feeling like shit. So it doesn't matter. I've taken like NyQuil and crap like that. I've done a lot of stuff, and none of it's ever worked and helped my sleep. What will help it is getting rid of this band of tension, which is not just a physical aspect. Another thing that it does affect is, as I've noticed over recent years, is my brain. I never was this stuttery, I never was this jittery. I could hold a thought, I could remember a name, but now it takes me, you know, a full few seconds to get my thoughts together and to like stare at someone and try and recognize their face and get their name back. I wasn't like that until I went through a personally traumatizing experience, which I didn't realize was traumatizing at the time, which if I did, I probably could have prevented some of this, but it's taken me a long time to actually come to terms with it and understand what happened. Which is why I want to make this and share all the knowledge that I've gained. And so it's ruined many of my functional capabilities. Like my memory is garbage. I forget things within a few seconds if I'm not holding the thought like consciously. And even then it's still a crapshoot. My problem-solving ability is mostly subconscious, so apparently that hasn't been affected. Like I said before, I play a lot of video games, and when I sit and play a puzzle, I just kind of move instinctively through the puzzle. I don't really have to sit and calculate where this block needs to go for that and whatever, because I've thought, well, maybe I can help my brain out a bit by playing more puzzle games and getting myself to think more abstractly. But no, it wasn't affected. I thought that was unusual. But my calculation skills are definitely affected. If I do math, for some reason, the concept of math, for some reason, I can't hold that many different things at once. Like, numbers are just hard. I work in a restaurant, and it's embarrassing, but when I'm a cashier, I kind of rely on the screen telling me how much change to give them. And I find that extremely embarrassing, but I'm trying to force myself every time they hand me change. Before it takes like 3 seconds for it to pop up. I try and calculate how much change I'm going to give them before it tells me that I need to give it to them. So I'm trying to take steps there, but I make a mistake almost every single time. I just can't hold the concept of 60 of this, 20 of that, subtract my blah, 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 blah. It's really difficult for me right now. And majority of that is because of this band of tension in my neck. Which, I mean, I've had moments of clarity where, I've dug into my neck and my vision gets a little clearer, my thoughts are a little bit clearer. Obviously, getting a lot of the functionality back will come with training and practice, but it proves that that's affecting it to a major degree. And almost everyone has something like this to varying levels. The most common of which is bands of tension around the waist area, which I have as well, which what that cuts off is feeling of grounding, a feeling of feeling the world around you, and the movement of energy through your body, which sounds super spiritual, but like legitimately like the energy that keeps your body moving, like that kind of energy is, its flow is blocked. And the most common thing, which, shows in today's society, is sexual experience. It really cuts off sexual feelings, so people are going out and trying to experience more of this feeling. They're just kind of fulfilling urges, but not really giving into the sensation, because sexual release should be something that's really powerful and, like, the whole body should feel it, but it's just kind of centered to the loins. And no one really understands this, so they're just like digging for more. They're trying to fulfill that feeling as much as possible. That's just a couple examples and a couple aspects of the kind of thing that can happen with these bodily tensions. A lot of this comes down to really working through it yourself. It's going to take a lot of personal work. It's going to take a lot of drive, which a lot of people lack. I know a lot of people my age, at least in my age range, suffer from really strong depression, really strong anxiety, and I think that comes with the weird transition that we had growing up. Like, I had a VHS when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy Color, and now my little sister, who's 4 years old, has a freaking iPad, and she has access to the entire universe on that thing. When I had trouble finding cheat codes growing up, and now they're everywhere. There's like 50 million sites. And cheat codes aren't even a thing anymore. I didn't get to play, hop on my PlayStation and go online. Well, I did, but it wasn't until way later. And you had to buy a specific adapter for it, and it was only Ethernet. Like, again, there wasn't Wi-Fi growing up. I didn't have Wi-Fi. Like, I heard about, like, once Wi-Fi started being a thing, and I heard about friends that had Wi-Fi, I'm like, oh, cool, wireless internet, that's so awesome. I had a flip phone. I miss my flip phone. There's just so many things that have changed, so much disconnect from nature that we've had to deal with. And I still think most of people my age, had that connection, stronger connection with nature. And as we're getting older and we're shifting into this electronical age, it's causing a strong disconnect. And no one seems to realize that this disconnect is happening, so it's causing us unnecessary pain. And that leads to the depression, the anxiety, and all of these really bad psychological problems, which can be solved through working through the tensions in your body, and then along with those tensions, a strong amount of psychoanalysis, because it's not like you'll massage your back and suddenly, oh, I'm so much better. No, it comes with a lot of hard work, and it really comes with a few years. But shush. But the thing about it is, stop it. My phone keeps yelling at me now. The thing about it is we need to work through this. We need to really delve into ourselves and release this pent-up emotion, because once you work through the body, work out that tension, once you release the emotion that it's related to, you should be better. Not fixed, but better. And it just bothers me that no one seems to realize this. Hardly anyone I've met psychoanalyzes themselves pretty much at all. They care about themselves to the point of what they look like. They care about themselves of, oh, how can I attract this dude I like, or this chick I like, or whatever. That's all that people care about. No one thinks like, oh, I got really upset when this guy did this. I wonder why I got upset about it. What can I do to fix this? And what can I do to, interact with them in a different way? Just hardly anyone thinks like that nowadays, and that bothers me. It's just, I think everyone deserves a chance at joy. Everyone deserves this chance at happiness. And to do that, we actually have to put in work. And not everyone's willing to do that. So what it really boils down to is looking at yourself and realizing where your tension is, both physical and psychological, and trying to understand where your issues come from, what they stem from. Maybe it's some event in your past, and finding a way through it, like working with yourself to, again, it's psychoanalysis. I'll get to it at another video, but I honestly don't think majority of therapists will help you. Majority of therapists aren't exactly looking to fix you. They're just looking to get you to that gray area, to get you to, functional. And that's about it. But that's where most people are. And I think that's wrong. There's a lot of scratches in this desk. Honestly, we need to look at ourselves, and we need to understand where our parents, our society, and where we have wronged ourselves. And that word I'm sick of saying. And if we do that, we can really push ourselves to new heights we couldn't see ourselves ever reaching. That ideal self that you want to be, it's possible. You just have to work for it. And I say I'm taking strides myself, but I mean, it's a slow process. I've been doing this for over a year, and I'll be in a conversation with someone, my mind will just go blank, and I'll just stop, and I can't think of any kind of response. I can't keep track of where the conversation flow is going. But I've been getting better, just little bits at a time. And it's rough. It's a really difficult journey. But honestly, if you don't do it, then it's like a shell of a life. And personally, I'm kind of sick of living like that. Because I've been young, and I've felt what it's like to be alive, and what it's like to, really feel the grass beneath my feet, really feel the world around me and appreciate it. And I lost that. So maybe I'm biased, just because I know what it's like, and I understand it, and I want it back. And the purpose of these videos is going to share my journey doing that, and I hope by sharing this, it'll get at least someone out there thinking about their world. I saw my screen flick, and I don't know why. It'll get someone out there thinking about their world and themselves and things around them from someone who has been to hell and back, and who is, I'm basically actively trying to go back to hell. Like, I think the answers to myself and to the world are in my personal hell. And if I don't face it, it's just going to eat at me. So if I can accept these emotions, I'll be able to start walking again and eventually start running for myself. So I really hope my thoughts get out there to someone. I really hope I can help someone out there. And again, I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this for views. I really don't care about any of that. If you want to give me fame and views, do it on my other YouTube channel. This is just me. Like, that's all this is going to be. Shh. So whatever happens, I'm going to keep making videos, and I'm just going to put myself out there. Whatever happens, happens. And I'll share everything I've learned with this little webcam and microphone. Thanks for listening.